It has begun, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It's finally Friday. Jesus, what a week.
You know, we look forward to Friday all weekend, all week long, and it never fails. Every week when a Friday arrives, I always ask myself, "Wait, does it really fucking matter?" Like, I'm so
Not when you have kids, dude.
yeah, it's
Every
like
day is
I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, what the fuck am I excited about? I, I I
yeah.
don't get to do anything on the weekends anymore.
Hey, you might get to nap. I get to nap occasionally, so that's like the highlight of my week. So
Yeah, I mean, I could nap when the wife naps because there's a point in the day where the wife will nap with the baby, or
mhm.
she'll try to. Sorry, guys, I'm bad with the mute button, and I got a bit of a cough. There's like something been going around last couple of
Oh,
weeks
it's terrible, man.
everywhere, so I'm gonna
My
try my
wife's
best.
had it for like 2 weeks now.
So I'm gonna do my best to be good with that. But anyway, yeah. So that's that. So this is our pre-game chat. Once a month, we do our members only commentary, and we don't like to. We can't say gyp anymore, right? That's not politically correct. Gypsies. Other
Gyp? That's not politically correct
it
anymore?
stems from gypsies. When
Oh my God.
when you gyp somebody, like the stereotype is a gypsy is a thief, thieving, conniving.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that's where
All
gyp
right.
comes from. It's JYP.
Okay.
It's one of those things, dude. It's like one of those things that's just become culture, and like you probably didn't even know it's stem from gypsy. I
No,
didn't.
I no, I didn't even think. I mean, it's a total 90s word, gyp.
It's so
Gyp.
old at this
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
that people don't even realize there's a connotation with something else, and it's just one of those things where I could easily say that word in a work meeting, and then I could get like a talking to, just in case there's somebody from Romania with deep-rooted gypsy heritage that talked to HR. Like, and like, why? And I would be like, well, I didn't fucking know that's where it came from. Everybody just said that growing up. You
Yeah.
know, I said, I used the term hood rat at a meeting.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
We were joking. Well, somebody who apparently lives in the hood and is probably the mother of some rats got offended. And she's like, yeah, and I got a talking to, dude. And I'm like, and I didn't think about it. I'm like, it was just, first of all, we were joking. It was like it
Mhm.
was very nonchalant. We weren't like officially rolling with the meeting. We were kind of talking before everybody got into the meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it came from. It was somebody asked about, because I had just had my kid,
Right.
or no, I was gonna have my kid,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, is she gonna like raise her right?" And I said something like, "Well, I'm not gonna raise any hood rats." That's all I said.
Yeah.
We all know, like in the general sense, what a hood rat is, but like when you
Mhm.
think about it, oh, somebody from the ghetto, a hood rat, like oh, like well, I'm not. It's grown beyond the where it comes from at this point. Like everybody says this shit, but
People used to say hood rat all the time. See, I got in trouble like 2 jobs ago. I got a talking to for saying somebody asked how my wife was doing. I'm like, she's doing great. She's barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen." When she was pregnant, as a joke, and they took it to HR and they tried to get me fired. I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me? It's
like
a
I was
fucking
being
joke."
literal. Oh, I thought you were being
Yeah.
literal.
Was a fucking joke. But she was, I mean, and my wife doesn't take offense to anything, so it's funny. Come on. People, grow a sense of humor, Jesus
And what's
Christ.
funny though is, um, the day I got talked to, that same morning, like we're talking hours before, or you know what, it might have been the day before. Let's just say
Mhm.
the day before I actually got the talking to, the person that said they had an issue with it and the whole got fired.
Oh, really?
When I dug by process of elimination, I was talking to my boss. Oh, let me guess, it was this person. He's like, yeah, and then they got let go. I'm like, why the fuck am I even talking to you right
It's
now? If
totally
you fired,
it's the same type of person because my person got fired too.
they literally got
Because
fired.
yeah,
Look,
yeah,
I said what I said, and none of it was malicious. We were just saying it in general sense, and other
sure.
people were saying stuff too,
Mhm.
and and then the next day she got let go for completely whatever reasons. I think she was just doing bad things with her job. Yeah, she was doing shit. She was like fucking dumping calls and whatever she was doing. And yeah, then I still got a talking to.
Hmm.
Like, can that just like eliminate it? If the person that made a complaint on me about something I said gets fired for doing heinous shit, can we just why would you because nobody in their right mind got offended but the one person.
Exactly. There's
Everybody
always
was
that
like
one
me, where it's
person.
like everybody just kind of thought it was a general term. So I'm like, why are we even bringing it up then if the person's not here anymore?
There's always that one person that's gotta ruin everything.
She probably would have been very happy that knowing that she still got to me even after she was gone, like type
At
of
least she was
thing.
fired, I guess. I mean,
Anyway,
real quick before we get into anything, we did have a question in the not the chat, but it was the messages about what the pre-show actually is, like what we do. So, do you want to kind of explain what the pre-show is?
yeah, and I know John had also John, you're in the chat. What's up? We're gonna say hi to everybody here in just a second, but I know John Wakefield's in the chat, and he was saying something in a comment I know earlier where he's like, "Oh, I might sit this one out because haven't seen Under Siege," and I think there's a little bit of a miscommunication with these. So again, once a month we do the members only commentaries, and we like to do these. But that's where I got off on a tangent. That's why I said the word "jip." We don't want to
Oh
jip
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys, right? That's where it came from. Uh, so we still want to hang out with you guys and everybody and do a stream. But because it happens to fall on that night, we call it the pre-show. And it gives
yeah.
people a chance. Like if we're gonna do a movie after this that you guys like and you guys want to join the membership to hop on and hang out with us, you can. Otherwise, we're just gonna talk shop.
Two
So
ninety nine a month. It's not expensive, so come hang with us. So
but yeah, anyway, so anything on here that's not member it's fine, dude. Like we don't care if you've never seen Under Siege. I wouldn't blame
yeah,
you. I
yeah.
mean, uh, Steven Seagal is a piece of shit, but
It's hysterical.
he's a piece of shit that's made a couple of good movies, a couple.
Yes.
But anyway, let me say hi to folks really
Yep.
quick. Satan, of course, our our Dark Lord himself. Favorite part of Under Siege is the birthday scene. Don't even get me fucking started.
Yes.
I don't know if you're gonna join us for the members only commentary, but let's just say I've got things to say about that scene. There's little things I'm gonna say about every part of this movie. I think the movie's great, by the way.
Oh, it's
Um,
great. It's so much fun.
it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of what the fuck isms about it though. It's the peak uh blueprint machismo action movie.
Mhm.
Everything from like uh everybody either wants to be Steven Seagal, wants to fuck Steven Seagal, or fears Steven Seagal. So it's like everybody just fawns over whoever your lead is, and that's the way the story's written. And it has me in hysterics, dude. I love it. Uh so Satan, thank you for joining us, man. He says he doesn't work tonight, which is great. Usually you do, man. All right, let's say John again. I said hi to you, man. Hopefully you're had a good week.
Oh man,
Hopefully you don't hopefully you guys don't have to work the weekends, man. I know you probably do.
it's
I
tough.
worked random schedules, dude, for years and years and years where I had to work all hours of the night, weekends. It's just the whole deal. And it's only been like the last decade of my life. I mean, Todd and I are old fucks, 40, 41. It's only been the last decade that I've been on a normal, like quote unquote, Monday through Friday.
Sure.
I still work a lot of hours. But at least I got the weekends off, It'd pretty much be
Once you have
impossible.
kids, it's like you can't work. It's hard to work the weekends when you have kids, man. Really hard.
Yeah, well, and then my wife is an educator, so it's like it would just mean bad things for the marriage too, because it's like
Yeah.
we got to have time with the kid. We got to do all this stuff, and the only time is the weekend. So if I was working on the days that she was off, we would literally never see each other, but like an
Mhm.
hour a night. So no bueno. And Robert, the all-knowing, how you doing, brother? You showed up last time,
Robert,
and
good to see you again.
let's see. He just put Zach.
Mm.
I don't know what that means. Forrest Gump. Zach says, Gory Tiger, what's up, dude? How you doing?
What's up, Gory?
Aaron is becoming bald. It's over. I'm not becoming bald. What are you talking about?
No, yeah, I mean your hairline's not as bad as mine. I mean, come on. So
I'm not becoming bald, dude. You never see me with a hat. Look, wait, let me see. I'm making myself dizzy. I've had this fucking hairline since high school, dude.
that's not a terrible hairline, dude.
It's not. Jack
No,
Nicholson's is
no,
way
no.
worse.
Yeah.
I have had this hairline since fucking high school, man.
Once it becomes a V, dude, you just need to shave it, dude.
How dare you, man? I'm not coming bald. Let's see. Has Zach reviewed a Serbian film? We did a Serbian film years ago. I want to
Yep.
say it was probably 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. We did a commentary. We did a thing where they were going to surprise me on what movie. I was going to go into this one totally unprepared, unknowing of what we were doing, and yeah, of course, Mac and Zach decided to pull the rug underneath me, and they did a Serbian film, which I always vowed I never would watch because I just don't go for the edgy shit. And I had already known the big moments everybody talked about online. I'm like, I have no interest in seeing that. It's just exploitation for exploitation's sake, and so I did. I had to watch it, and I got it out of the way. I'll never watch it again.
Yeah, it's not a very good movie. I would not recommend it.
Robert the All-Knowing, have you guys watched The Substance? By the way, let's see your hairline. Hey,
What?
no, not
Oh,
Todd's.
okay,
I've
You've
seen
seen mine a
Todd's.
million times.
I've seen Todd's. Have you guys watched Substance? Yeah, we watched it, and
Yeah,
it was fun and solid for what it is. I think the more you sit on it, I'm kind of like in our buddy Pat, because we talked about it with our buddy Pat.
yeah,
We're I'm kind of in that boat too, where it's like it's a little too redundant for my taste, and I get it. You're going to take influence and things like that, and great artists steal is what they say, but I feel like they stole too much from just a couple of places,
yeah.
and they
The
didn't mix it
Argento
up.
stuff, and yeah, because
No,
I was
it
a
was
huge fan of it
it was
when I saw
very
it too.
much
Yeah,
like Brian Usna with the body horror shit.
yeah,
Or I guess you could say Cronenberg. I mean, he's like the godfather of that stuff. But there was just so many blatant takes from The Shining, and that's cool. You can take shots. You could borrow this, whatever. That's totally fine. I mean, but like she just used a ton, and it was like
mhm.
a lot of it in succession, to where it's like, okay, well now it's like blatantly obvious, and it's just a bit much. But it's a fun movie.
It's a good movie. I actually like Together better. So if you're into body horror, check that one out as well.
The third act went full on fucking society, Brian Usna.
Yeah.
It was wild, which is kind of fun. What's up, Moon Tiara? How you doing?
Hey, Moon.
Satan says hair is overrated. Yeah, he must be.
Absolutely.
Satan's got no hair in that picture, guys.
All right.
I I got my hair, and by the way, I just cut it. I cut my own hair, by the way, and
So do
I
I.
I have that scarecrow hair, dude. Where if you put light on me, man, you're gonna see it's short, dude. I gave myself like a crew cut. Come on, you're gonna fucking see some
One of
scalp
these
in there, bro.
streams, I need you. We should do something fun where like your mom shaves your head, dude. That'd be so funny.
Like Trump on
Yeah, be
WWE.
like Trump and Vince McMahon,
McMahon.
dude.
So
Yeah.
we can have like a whole story arc of my mom being like the McMahon character, and I'm
If
like or Trump, vice versa, and I could be talking shit, and we gotta have a whole arc.
we have to have like you got to raise money, so we got to raise like $20 or something to shave Aaron's head.
And you're like Big Show, and we shove your ass in whoever's face,
Yes.
like "Duh!" in my face, dude. Let's see. Serbian movie is nasty, but Salo is much worse. I have
Salo's nasty.
no interest in watching Salo
I
either.
saw it once and that's it.
Satan liked the Substance, 8
Yeah.
out of 10. Yeah, it was a solid film.
Mhm.
Say Substance was decent. Robert, the all-knowing, a Serbian movie is for intellectuals. You guys just don't get it. It's so philosophical.
Well, I don't get it then. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I don't,
I'm just a bald retard.
I'm not
That's it.
highbrow.
He stepped all over my bald retard line. I thought that was funny. Let's see. What's up, Entropy Station? Yeah, where is Zach anyway?
Oh, you're right there, Zach. We probably know it's you. So
I don't know. Maybe Robert the all-knowing is Zach.
who knows? One of the two.
Entropy Station. I like the avatar though. It's pretty funny, dude.
It's funny, dude. I love it, Ronald.
That's back when. Oh, it feels like so long ago when AI was kind of fun, like 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Back when you have the videos of Trump at McDonald's.
Oh
That-
yeah.
where it's
Handing out the food, dude.
It's clearly AI. It was before it was starting to get really like.
Oh, but
hey,
he
we're just-
did that. Remember on his when he ran
he
for
did that,
re-election.
but they had AI Trump videos
Yeah.
at McDonald's, like flinging shit, and that was fun. Now it's like, oh, all these videos are just made to like fool you into being real. But
We hope you're well, Zach.
Zach is fapping to Emma Myers' feet. He was into Emma Roberts. Is Emma Myers somebody else? He always talked about giving Emma Myers. Fuck, you got me now.
Is that
Emma
Michael's
Roberts.
mom?
Emma Roberts is Eric Roberts' daughter. That's the only reason to go after
Oh,
her,
okay.
because you're one step closer to that Eric Roberts
There you
gene
go.
pool.
There you
That
go.
sweet, sweet gene pool of the Eric Roberts. But he liked her a lot. Then he said once she had a kid, he was over it. Serbian movie in Salo. I'm not interested in seeing it. Yeah, it's
It's not for me. I've
You,
seen it, but
you
yeah,
it's exactly what they describe it as. Like it doesn't. There's no surprises,
mm-hmm.
especially if you know like the twist and what everybody was buzzing about. I'm like, great, yeah, okay, here it is. He's doing terrible things to a very very tiny person. This is terrible. Um, yeah, Martyrs. I haven't seen Martyrs
Martyrs is
either.
good, dude. I love Martyrs.
Still haven't seen it. John Wakefield, the original Martyrs, is a bit overrated, but decent. The remake sucks. Yeah, everybody seems to think the remake sucks. Uh, let's see. What's up, Mac? How you doing?
Mac, what's up, brother?
Mac, we miss you, man.
Are you playing that Mortal Kombat, that collection?
No, dude. Mac knows what's up, dude. Mortal Kombat is fucking shit the bed.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't
I mean,
talked to Mac in a while.
they have finally patched it to where it is fun. It's just they've burned so much goodwill, dude.
I'm waiting until that thing goes on sale so I can actually.
You're gonna get it for 20 or less.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. I wear Satan says I wear a pentagram hoodie at a Christian company and people get mad. I would love to get fired and sue the shit out of them. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, I have nothing against people that worship Satan. I'm actually Christian, but you know what? I like satanic shit. So
Is it Pentagram, the band Pentagram, or is it just a pentagram? And question, do you live in a right to work state? Because I don't know how does like the religious thing like blur that line of right to work, where they could just fire you for whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It'd be fun to challenge it though. Like that's like a Costanza move, by the way.
Yes.
It's like trying to get fired from the fucking Yankees or whatever. And
well, he tried to become some sort of an Orthodox or something, Latvian Orthodox. Remember that? And then like just for a woman. Remember that episode? Yeah. It was pretty funny, dude.
Hey, Mac, if you want to jump on with us in this pre-stream, you can. I'd be down. Just bullshit for a few.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'll send you a link. John, if anyone likes The Substance, watch Society by Brian Usna, one of the best body horror movies ever. The climax is sick. Yeah, like I said, the third act of The Substance goes full Society.
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing. Let's see. Members only commentary. It has. Okay. Well, I can't read that for obvious reasons. I kind of regret even pulling it up because I can't say that stuff. Let's see. Aaron looks 29. Yo, still. If only I didn't have if only I had a better hairline.
There you go.
Isn't that fucked up though, dude? Like I've known guys. I had one of my best buddies. He's been bald since he was 19.
Well, remember,
he's always kind of looked like a 35-year-old. And now that he's like 45, he looks, obviously like a 45-year-old. But yeah, once you're rocking that horseshoe look or, the Mr. Clean look, and all bald guys have to grow the goatee, like just like the goatee.
Yeah.
And you all look like inmates.
Pretty much.
And it's not because you want to, it's just because you feel you have no other choice. Because who wants to have the Michael Chiklis commish shoe, horseshoe look? That the sidewalls, that's not necessarily a great look, but you do you.
We used to go to middle school with a kid who was going bald in middle school.
Oh, I don't remember who.
Do you remember him? What was his name?
Oh, let's just say it's Honey Forner. Was it rhyme with Honey Forner?
No, but it was
that motherfucker. That motherfucker SA'd me.
Oh yeah, he stuck his thumb up your
dude.
Ass, right?
I was walking through the fucking hallways. All right, guys, I'm not going to dox him because his name is Grony Forner. We'll just call him Grony Forner.
Grony.
That's a code.
Horny.
And he SA'd me. And during when the bell rang in between classes, we had a big high school. I think about 4,000 people went to our high school. It was a large high school. And the main hallway where all the traffic went of the building, it was like a flood of people. It was pretty busy. And some people are going this way, the others are going that way. We were going this way. I might have even been with you because I don't know if you have to tell me if you remember saying something.
I remember you freaking out. I've heard this story before.
Yeah, and he was part of the flood of traffic coming this way, and he just takes fucking like 2 fucking fingers like an ice cream scoop, and he got fucking 2 fucking chocolate out of my ass. He scooped at me like, what the fuck? And it's one of those things where by the time you look, he's gone in the swamp. I didn't know what to say. I was speechless. I was like,
you were freaking out, dude. I remember that.
I felt violated.
Yeah.
And this was before you actually like tattled and like me too'd and said stuff about that. But like
Why you in a towel? You just fucking punched him in the face.
I was speechless. I was fucking speechless.
Yeah.
I was like, did that just happen? And the only reason I knew it was him is because I looked back and I saw his little head, and I saw him kind of like smiling. Like, what is your problem, dude? Did you get what you want out of that? If
That's
you did,
so
you scare me.
I forgot it was him. I knew that happened.
It was him.
I thought it was like a senior when you were a freshman, that sort of
No,
thing.
it was fucking. Actually, sorry, that's less appropriate. The fact that I knew him, was fucking weird. It goes beyond smacking somebody's ass with a towel in the locker room. No, you stuck your fingers up there. Now, had he done that to me post like 30, that was commando era. He would have gotten a lot more. Let me tell you, his fingers would have stank because he would have only been one layer between,
Speaking of people touching your privates, it does remind me of the other time where you got punched in the nuts at the convention. You got bow to the king, which was hysterical, but it wasn't hysterical at the time because
it was painful.
You were so mad, dude. I've never seen you so angry. You like, oh my God, dude.
Well, dude, I got fucking hit in the nuts.
Yeah, this dude was like a huge skinhead with no teeth, dude.
Well, we didn't know he had any teeth. He took them out.
Yeah.
He goes. We had made friends with this guy all weekend because he had the booth next to us, and he was a toy vendor. And by toy vendor, I really I don't know if he actually had a store, or if he was just a guy that flipped, and but he had a huge toy lot. And I remember all weekend long I was kind of eyeballing his McFarlane McFarlane pumpkin head, and it had a certain price tag on it, and that was it. But anyway, Saturday night, we're all outside the festivities. You got
he's hammered. He's been drinking Jack Daniels all day.
And this guy's really tall. Yeah, like tall skinhead,
big dude,
really tall. This guy was like fucking 6'5", bald, and stocky, but really tall. And we're hanging out. We had made a friend with this guy all night. We're all hanging around outside. They got people fucking spitting fire, and they got Charles Band MCing, and they got fucking bands playing. And he goes,
I wouldn't consider him friend. I would consider him as a mutual.
We were friendly all weekend.
Friendly because we're sitting right next to him.
Yeah, friendly. Anyway, in the midst of all of our talking, he goes, "Hey, you ever play Bow to the King?" I'm like, "No, what's Bow to the King?" Bow to the King, and he hits me in the fucking nuts, and I'm like,
with his fist, dude,
with his fucking fist.
Yes, like this, dude.
Yeah, because it's like I was like right next to him. He's like, "You ever play Bow to the King?" And it was just like, "What's Bow to the King?" Boom!
If you've seen Total Recall, where Hauser gets hit in the nuts, and he's like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Yes, it's exactly like that for Aaron. It was like I was like speechless. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, man.
It really fucking hurt. Like I was fucking brought to my knees, dude. And I think the most I could get out of me was throwing my fucking full soda can at him, or I don't know what happened.
You're drinking a Monster, and he threw a Monster at him, an open Monster.
I don't know, but dude, I was crippled.
Oh my God, yeah.
And this guy, he instantly felt bad and knew he fucked up. And at that point, he was
hammered. That dude was freaking hammered too.
Because they had the security approaching, because they saw what happened, and I didn't escalate it. Because at the time we had a relationship with this convention, and we didn't exactly want to get blacklisted and kicked out after all the money we'd paid. But anyway, this guy was like immediately apologizing. It was one of those things too, where it's like, well, it's kind of hard to fucking when you're apologizing, but he's like, "Oh no, fucking, you can hit me back," and that's when he's like, "You get me back, man."
He's like,
you
punch me in the face.
He goes, and then he takes his fucking teeth out. I'm like, put your fucking teeth back in, you pathetic asshole.
Yes,
like,
dentures, dude.
Like, take your teeth. But when he fucking pulled his teeth out, if I wasn't in agony, I would have laughed. Like, holy shit.
I didn't know there were dentures.
And it reminds me of that episode of, did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy growing up?
Yes, yeah.
Do you know the episode where Ren adopts a kid, and it's like a 40-year-old convict getting out of jail?
Okay.
Named Kowalski.
I don't remember it, but yeah.
Okay, so he gets a new son, and his son is this big fat hairy ape named Kowalski, and he's getting out of prison, but he's got the mind of a child, like, "I love you, daddy, I love you, daddy." But it's just so bizarre. Anyway, Kowalski makes him mad to the point where he's finally he keeps trying to punish him, and Stimpy's like the wife stepping in, but he ends up pushing Ren to the brink. He does something in particular, and he's like, not even Stimpy can stop him. No, back down! Like, I'm gonna fucking spank him. He's like, Kowalski, pull down the pants! Like, pull down the pants! He's gonna spank him. And then like Kowalski's like a baby, but he's like a 40-year-old guy with like 5 o'clock shadow and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he looks confused, like, why is, like a kid would, like, why is my daddy mad? Why does he want to hurt me? And then he just pulls down his pants, and he goes, and he's like, he's trepidatious, and Ren goes, the pants, Kowalski, the pants. He's like mad, and then he pulls down the pants, and they don't show you what Ren sees, but Ren sees what he sees, and he just starts crying. He's like, pull him up, pull up the pants, Kowalski, pull him up. It's just hilarious. The thought of this big obese fucking 40-something. Like, what is he looking at, dude? I don't know. That's kind of how I felt when he took his teeth out. Pull up the pants.
Oh man.
Anyway, that guy had planned on being there the next day.
Yeah.
And
never showed up.
And he just didn't show up. And because all that happened.
Yeah.
And we went down to our booth Sunday morning, and his shit was already cleared out well before like right at opening hours. So we never saw him. But he left the fucking pumpkin head figure for me.
Yep, for free.
Yeah, he gave free. I paid for that
as a nut shot. Yeah, he paid for it.
I might be paying interest on that. I might be paying interest on that shit today, dude.
Well, at least you have kids now. I mean,
I know. Maybe I got
took a while though, right?
He might. I might have a lesser count now because of that guy.
That's true.
But they are like fucking great.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
No.
Okay.
I did sell the Pumpkinhead figure this year. This year.
Hopefully, you got some good money for it.
I made profit on it.
Okay.
But I mean, I paid nuts.
Sure
I paid nuts. But my fucking nuts were like a grapefruit. One of them looked like a grapefruit. The next, like a couple days later, the other one was like a kiwi, dude.
You should have showed me, dude. I didn't even get to look. So
he got one. When you get hit in the nuts, one of them gets the brunt. That's how it works.
Well, the tap's even worse though, dude. But that was like a full.
Oh,
fist.
I challenge you to get a fucking back fist to your dick, your nuts, and I'll tell you. We'll find out which.
Never had a back fist. Always the tap.
It was a fucking bam. It was like I don't know. Hit the emergency switch. They need air. It's like, what it reminds me of? It's like when in Alien and all those space movies where they got to hit the emergency hatch to blow whatever out the cargo in space. They break the glass and they fucking bam. They have to hit that. That's what he did. My dick was the cargo latch, and I don't know. And the alien getting blasted out into space was my dignity, I guess.
Well, if you ever see Aaron at a con, tell him to bow to the king, and he'll know.
Oh, they'll never get me again. You'll never fucking get me again.
Exactly what to do.
Oh, but so unassuming. Because we had talked to this guy. He was super nice for like 2 days straight. Yeah. We were 2 full days straight. Super nice guy. All it took was for him to get a lick. Even when he had liquor in him, he was funny and nice.
Well, I mean, he had the whole bottle, dude. I mean, he had like a whole bottle of Jack Daniels. So by the end of the day, he was pretty. Yeah, he's feeling no pain.
Anyway, bad memories.
Sorry, we'll go back to the chat.
My nuts hurt thinking about it. Like, do you ever get like nut trauma, like when it's something hurts so bad, and then you feel it, like the phantom pangs?
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Racing Genius? How you doing? Sorry, we went on a tangent there. Talking. Good evening, everyone, and our boys are getting enlisted to the Navy. Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wait.
Congrats, brother.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Under Siege.
I think his sons are getting enlisted.
Oh, okay. Well, whichever you're talking about, badass.
Hell yeah,
Under
man.
Siege. Let's see. Nice band shirts, by the way. Yeah, Todd's got Iron Maiden. I'm rocking Misfits. And our boy Alpha Romero, who we've collabed with quite a bit, he put out a short today in one of his videos where he was talking about that old there's an old groupie that had been through like everybody and back, and she started a website like 20 fucking years ago, basically where she was selling plaster cast mold like dildos based off the rock star she slept with. You had, and I remember this when he was, I remember exactly. I remember there's an HBO special about her, and going like through her fucking shit and her operation. You had the Lenny Kravitz that was like 11 inches or whatever, but he was going on and on about basically Danzig. And the butt of the joke was basically when somebody asked him about Danzig, he's like, it's just like him in real life. It's short and stumpy, short and chubby, or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna pull out my Misfit shirt for my boy, my boy Danzig, who just got doxxed for his micro penis. Well, it's not a micro penis. It's like how do we know it's not like a coat can cut in half, you know?
Yeah, I'm
It'll
sure.
still do some damage.
Yeah, I'm sure people are satisfied with that.
Could probably fuck up your rectal wall with like
Uh,
a half a Coke can.
I don't know. I'm not really gonna think about that, but
Yeah, I will. Let's see. We need a drop dead gorgeous commentary down the road. Yeah, dude, I would do it
yeah.
100%.
Hmm.
We take requests, man, especially the members. I mean, the members always get priority. Like if you guys will
Absolutely.
request something, we'll 100% do it. But Drop Dead Gorgeous was good. So would Drop Dead Fred. Different movies. But
Mhm.
Satan's asking who is Zach? Robert. Zach. Whoa, 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 whoa. Everything Robert's putting in here as the P word.
Robert, you gotta clean it up, brother.
Well, I'm just not. I just gotta watch it. I gotta. Well, no, he could put shit in the chat. I just gotta watch not to blast it on the screen.
Yeah, don't blast on the screen.
Yeah, well, Google's got its own shit built in where, like, if you say certain things, like your stuff they'll just mute it. And
Mm.
I'm actually shocked that it lets you put PEDO because sometimes you'll put like a very common swear word and it'll fucking mute your message. So that's funny. I'm surprised they aren't flagging it. No, I mean, like I said, you haven't crossed any lines. I've just got to be careful not to post it.
Yeah.
But Zach is not that, and he certainly had nothing to do with Columbine. But that is our era, of course. Ah, yes, Columbine. I remember 1997 was the year of Columbine and Creed. Two travesties to this nation.
Not Creed, man. Creed saved this country.
My Own Prison. That album came out the same
That's
time.
a great album, man.
But I remember that album was all over the radio, the first singles, the couple singles, and my mom was listening to them while I was like in the fucking 6th grade, and that and the whole Columbine stuff was happening. And that was also the era where everybody was saying that Marilyn Manson was Paul from the Wonder Years. And he removed ribs to suck his own dick, you know.
Oh yeah, that was
Those are the good old days where like shit just traveled, dude.
Yep.
Word of mouth.
High school hallways or the middle school
And it would go to like another kid from another district, and then
Mhm.
they would take it, and it's absolutely insane. I miss those days. There's no mystique to it anymore because everything's just on X. Let's see. Yeah, Zach did a lot of shit with us, and we got a lot of great commentaries up. You know, from Zach did, and
he's
you know,
doing his own thing right now with Mac, and yeah.
Mac. Oh, you didn't want to do that movie. I was like, I thought you were saying you didn't do it. I'm like, dude, I totally did. I remember, like, you're not gaslighting me. But okay, so yeah, I guess it was Zach that picked it. You might have had nothing to do with it. That's my bad. But I know I went into it knowing I wasn't gonna know the flick. But never again. I'm glad you don't want to watch that shit again, dude. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's too much.
Oh, Mac's at work. I offered Mac to come on, man. Yeah, MK sucks now. Hey, I mean, Warner's getting bought by Netflix. Let's see if they're gonna do just as bad with it, or if they're gonna. They don't give a shit about the gaming division, so hopefully they just kind of lease it to somebody that does, and they kind of stay off their fucking dicks about it and let somebody do it right, man. But I have a feeling they won't. They spent so much money on Warner Brothers.
Is he excited about the Arrow coming out with a release?
I don't think Mac's a huge physical media guy.
Okay.
No, I don't think he's a big. I mean, you buy your shit digitally, your games, and I just don't think he is, but maybe he is. He's obsessed with Arc Raiders. Everybody's playing Arc Raiders, man, but I don't know much about it. Let's see. Yeah, Satan, he's a newbie to the channel. Well, let's blow your mind, Satan. So we've been around a very long time, and we've had different like mark lineups. And if you really want to like waste your life, go back through the archives, and the first mark lineup was myself, Todd, and a guy named Lush. We started the channel, and we started the pot. When we started out, we were just a podcast because we started in like early 2011.
Yep.
Early 2011. So this is before people were doing this kind of stuff on YouTube. And you know, people were just doing podcasts, and nobody really knew what podcasts were in 2011. It was very much a niche underground thing, and it was like basement dwellers. You know, a lot of people were. It was for such niche topics where, like, you know, one of the podcasts that we were cronies with, they cannibal. They did a lot of cannibal and exploitation movies. This is
So back, I want to say 2010, like I used to listen to podcasts when I went to bed. And I would always listen to Cannibal Ferox, and then with J Dog and I think the Changeling, and then it kind of morphed into exploited cinema. with Bat 32 and J Dog. So he did that, and that was just audio only. And like,
That's the way it was.
yeah, so I would
We
listen
didn't
to
have we
that.
didn't have Zoom, and this is
No.
even before people started doing it on like Skype,
Hmm.
and the video on Skype was super reliable and shit like that. I mean, they had video on Skype, but people
And then I
weren't.
used to write in, so like they'd have questions or whatever. They give you a telephone number, you can call and ask questions. I used to write in, talk to them, and then finally I was like, "Fuck, man, I'll just start my own thing." So I called up Aaron, then I called up a guy that I was friends with at the time,
Lush.
Lush, and then we started or not the channel, but we started a podcast on TalkShoe, which is kind of like a hosting site, and we just put it on Apple iTunes, and we put it on there every week.
That
We
that's where
do
everybody
something.
that's where everybody put their stuff at the time. This is
Mhm.
before Spotify.
Yeah, yeah.
This is I think this predates Spotify existing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely
And
does.
people weren't putting podcasts, I don't even think on like iHeart. And
iHeart wasn't really
I don't
big
know
at
if
all.
Google
No,
had their equivalent yet. I
no.
don't
It
think.
was only iTunes.
Yeah, it
Everybody
was
was on
iTunes.
iTunes. Yeah.
And so we did that, and that's real old school. Like that's archaic start of how podcasting was, where there wasn't really a lot of rules, and everybody sort of made their own rules and how they and it was the Wild West. Like you could get away with anything. We could play music, we
There's
could
no
do
copyright,
nope.
anything. Yeah.
It was just the Wild West. People were still trying to like traverse and figure it out, and nobody was going. And we were so small. Like
Mhm.
all podcasts were so niche. Nobody was going to even go after you, and they wouldn't even know where to look.
Yeah.
And so it was in that sense, it was kind of really fun,
Mhm.
and you could talk about anything and say anything, and there wasn't algorithms to
No.
worry about. Like
Mhm.
literally, when we first started off, we had like a music segment. So we'd have a main film topic, and we do all this stuff. You can't do that now. You can, but YouTube and all these platforms are going to bury you unless they know where to put you.
Sure.
And so that's why you see all these YouTubers that are extremely filed down in their niche. And, the more filed down they are, it's one thing to be a horror movie YouTuber. It's even better to be a strict horror YouTuber. It's even better to be a strict certain kind of horror YouTuber. And that's not really fun, in my opinion. I mean, I'm happy
No.
talking about films, but part of me wishes we could still talk about a little bit more and not get punished for it, because that's basically what the algorithms do.
Well, and everybody back in 2011, 2010, they had their own aliases too. That's where Riverman came from. That's where Red Rocket, Aaron was Red Rocket.
Part of me wishes the one that got away, should I have stuck with that? So we all had names. So there was obviously Lush. That's not his fucking Christian name.
No.
And Riverman's name is Todd. I mean, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's not really like you're hiding your name. It's just
No.
you've got two names.
Yeah.
You're like Paul Stanley and Star Child.
Sure.
You answered to both.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was like, well, I gotta have a name too. I'll be Red Rocket. And it lasted a few episodes. And it's kind of can you imagine if I was still Red Rocket? It probably would have turned into Rocket. Like
Sound like Rocket in the Morning or something, like a DJ, some like crusty DJ.
But
dude.
that's what podcasting was when nobody was doing it. We were just emulating radio.
Yeah.
Right? Because terrestrial radio was still alive and well. And everybody loved Howard Stern and all that shit back in the day, and Man Cow in the Morning. So that's all we were doing, was making our own radio shows. That was it. So we like try to adopt personalities and all that stuff. And
from there, we moved into, okay, we want to build a website. So we start building a website, because that was like the big thing then. So like Bloody Disgusting started coming on the map, Dread Central, all these websites, these horror websites. And we're like, okay, let's do a website too. Let's just combine everything into, at the time it was Behind the Mask is what we were called. Rival House came later, but yeah. And then from there, we were doing it every day. We're doing interviews. We were doing interviews with musicians, celebrities, stuff like that, when it was easy to actually get these people before they actually had podcasts and all that shit. So like, I mean, we interviewed, like Phil and Selmo. We interviewed like a ton of music guys.
I would go 1 week interviewing Max Cavalera of Sepultura Soulfly. The next week I would interview Scott Atkins, like the martial arts action star. And and it could just be like that. And to Todd's point, it's a fair point, but musicians are always easier to get.
Sure.
Their whole the music industry is a fickle thing. It relies on the grassroots promotion. It always
Mhm.
has, especially like hard rock and metal and shit like that. Um, Actors and stuff like that. I don't know, but to your point with even actors and even musicians, the thing is now most likely that celebrity or musician has their own podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have their own platform they're going out to every week. So we literally were doing it before everybody and their mom had a podcast. That used to be the joke that everybody there was a point where podcasts starting getting big like 10 years ago. And they're
Mhm.
like, everybody in their fucking mailman has a podcast. Now, literally everybody in their mailman has a podcast. It's not even a
Yeah.
joke anymore.
Yeah.
And so and there was a point, we're already at a point of oversaturation, but there was a point like 5 years ago where people were fucking sick of it. And you have like girls making the jokes of like, God, let me guess, you have a podcast, roll your eyes.
Sure. Sure.
And
Yeah.
I used to tell people that. I'm like, hey, to my credit, dude, I've been doing it before all you fucks even knew it one, because we used
Mhm.
to tell people we
They
had a
didn't know what
podcast. They're like,
podcast
what's a
is.
podcast? And we
Yeah.
would describe it. And they'd be like, so it's like the radio? I'm like, well, kinda. It's pre-recorded radio with no listeners. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
why do you do it? It's
For
fun.
fun. Yeah.
But you built a lot of great connections, and you built
Mhm.
there was a really tight knit
Community.
community,
Yeah.
and a lot of that community is not around anymore
Yep.
from that first wave. The Cannibal Ferox, I don't think they're around
No.
anymore. Exploited Cinema is not around anymore.
No.
Dead Pit has been around for
They're
a
still
long
around.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Dead Pit,
still going strong.
Dead Pit was around. Well, Dead Pit was around. Then they went away for like a fucking decade,
Mhm.
and then they just recently came back in the last couple of years. But that's it. So at least we can say we're like a cockroach on this whole thing. We
Yeah.
won't
Yeah.
die. We've
Yeah.
never gone away. We've just changed. We've had different co-hosts. A guy named Corey G came in Mark II, and those were interesting episodes, but he ended up being kind of a questionable individual. And then we had a couple other things, and then we kind of got comfortable with Zach, and then Zach and Matt came on, and that was kind of our longest,
Mhm.
like 10-year. And
Then I jumped off, and then I started having kids and all that shit, and then they kind of took over, and then yeah, I
Todd's
came
back.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what a wild ride. Anyway,
Sorry, long-winded.
Mac and Zach is off saving the world. Hey, people don't know the history. It's
Yeah.
cool, dude, because you guys can go back, dude. Some of those old episodes are fun. If you
They're
don't
all
mind,
there.
it's raw. It's like raw Skype audio. We were doing shit on
Mhm.
Skype, and like I would be like walking on the side of the fucking the street, dude, outside, but there was such a charm to it because, like I said, you could get away with everything.
Sure.
And then as technology improved and more and more and more and more and more people not only had podcasts, but everybody was consuming them, then the bar kept raising. Then it's like, well, everybody now people care about quality. Everybody more and more people have quality mics and decent cameras and blah blah blah.
We
blah,
have
blah.
we have tons of episodes that were never even recorded. Like we hit the record button, we think we hit the record button, and we don't, and it's like it's gone.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we'll have to do this recording like next week or something like that. Like we have so many of those stories. It's crazy.
It's great because you were literally learning on the job.
Yeah.
And you could see if you guys go back from day one, 15 years ago, in really like a month. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
It's 15 years. We should do something.
We should.
What 15? That's a big deal.
April is when we started.
Okay. And then but literally you could go back and see people that really don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows anything about this shit, but it's so innocent. And then you see us grow and you see like the show evolve, right?
Why don't we do a special episode where we actually sit and listen to our first episode?
No, that sounds stupid.
Oh, dude, it'd be hysterical, dude. Not the whole thing, but I mean, maybe I'll clip it up, dude.
We used to do call-ins because that was because we had a Skype.
That's true.
Like I said, we were emulating radio. And so we had a Skype number and we would do call-in shows where people could call in. That's where we met Zach. Because Zach was a listener.
Yep.
And he was a listener, and I remember he used to like mail stuff like movies or whatever, and like a pen pal listener. And then we had a call-in episode, and he called in, and this guy was so shy. So shy, and it was hilarious because if you guys got used to Zach later when he came out of his shell, you can't believe this guy was shy, because he's anything but shy. But anyway, very, very funny stuff. I'm a member of the Satanic Temple. We don't worship Satan. Yeah, Satanism is more about worshiping yourself, right? Right. And
Hey, to each their own, brother.
correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong. It's not really the Satan and all that is more symbolic,
Mm.
right?
We
Civil
still
rights
love you,
battles.
Satan. We still love you.
I don't have to say that. I always loved you. Todd's like, I got a problem with that, but I still love you.
No, I don't, dude.
I mean,
I
I
don't
shit.
give a fuck, dude.
All right, let's see here. Robert, Zach is crazy. I love the it commentary, man. Dude, the Zach era, that is the most unchained fucking era. Let me tell you. And because Zach is a character, and he had we would call it Mark 1 Zach, Mark 2 Zach, and then he went all the way to Mark 3 Zach, which is fucking nuclear Zach, where he was off his medication or something, dude. And his entire purpose was to see if he could end the podcast by pissing you off so bad. Like it
Oh,
was just, it
he
was just
pissed you off many times.
he lived in
Yeah.
troll zone. It got to be it. Same thing with Mac. Mac is his cousin, and he would piss you off so fucking much. And then he kind of dialed it back to Mark 4, which is more of a docile. Okay, I'm on my medication now, guys, and he would be cool. But that's probably really good listening now. That's when we were doing a lot of prank calls, wild shit. Legend has it someday Zach will descend again from on high with bells on. Racing genius, yo Mac, what's up? Well, what happened with Zach is basically Zach went back to school like 3-4 years ago, and we were recording less and less. We were doing like a lot less stuff because Zach was doing school, and that was cool. And then the idea originally was, okay, when he got his 2-year degree, he was going to come back, but when he came back, rightfully so and understandably, it seemed like he was focused on building his portfolio, and I think he was kind of like putting his eggs in that bag. And so, okay, well, while Zach was gone and busy in school, that's when Todd came back, and we started doing this kind of thing again, and kind of was that on the back burner. And then, yeah, it just never came back to the way it was, and it's totally fine. So we're now in.
No, we all got our own things going on, which is great. So you can go over here. You can go over to their channel too. So,
Aaron is the PG era versus Zach unrated. Well, first of all, every era is my era, because I've been the constant like genital wart. You know, like I'm like the mainstay.
He's been here the whole time. You got
Todd is kind of like, you know, yeah. I don't know how else to call it. I probably shouldn't have called it that. It sounds disgusting, but I wouldn't say we're PG, but you know, I make the rib or two. We were just talking about Glenn Danzig's dick, but Zach was so edgy. The thing is the rules on stuff like YouTube, you got to understand back when
completely different, man.
Back when it was just like podcasts and Apple and shit like that, and even early YouTube, you could say that stuff. You could the Play-Doh file, PDF file jokes and all that stuff, and stuff that Zach relished in, like sort of the edgy humor. And just, dude, YouTube is constantly changing. They will fucking change their fucking regulations and rules on what you can and cannot do with on a dime, and not tell you about it. And not only that, they will sit there and attack all your previous content, but you know, that existed before they made up these new rules. And it just you can't exist. You can't have that kind of unfiltered shit on YouTube.
And the fact that AI now is they go through all of these podcasts and they can demote you for anything you say or anything that shows up in your chat. So it's like, do you guys want to see us at all, or do you guys, want us to stick around? It's like one of those things.
It sucks because I'm all for free speech.
There's no other avenue to go to, Robert. So I mean, nobody goes over to a Rumble channel, so it's like it's either here or nothing. So
and on that note, that's why we keep also promoting that we're back on Patreon. So if anybody wants to support us, you have your choice of YouTube membership or Patreon again, because Patreon's become more user friendly as far as the creator, and it's a place where we can archive all of our content. And if something happens on YouTube, because YouTube will fucking straight up remove old videos. We've got commentaries that don't exist anymore, and they'll just like pick them off. And now that stuff can live on Patreon, and there's a free Patreon. You guys don't have to pay. Go join the Patreon, follow us for free,
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
of our normal content can get is archived over there, and it'll always be there. And fuck, dude, I don't give a shit. Download it. Get a
yeah.
fucking get an MP4 downloader down and just fucking download it. But I'm saying it sucks that we can't have complete freedom of speech, but
Can't, but
everybody owns a platform. You're on somebody's platform and you're playing by their rules. And I don't know if it was both. I don't know if it was like the best thing in the world or the worst thing ever when Google bought YouTube.
yeah.
They bought it 4 or 5 years into YouTube, and YouTube is obviously getting pretty popular. But pre-Google YouTube, dude, that was the
It was so
stuff.
much fun, man.
That's
Yeah.
when you had like the angry video game nerd in his like primitive years. That's when you had people it was for amateur filmmakers, amateur content makers. That was the good shit, dude. And now fucking Will Smith's a YouTuber. What can you do?
Yep.
All right, Mac, dude, that's all. Okay, dude, that's all of our cousins and every friend around did was smack nuts, finger in the butt, smack nuts, finger in the butt, or roast your books out of your hands, all on the floor. Also, dead knee. Oh, the dead knee, dude. Fuck that. No, book checking.
What's that? Dead knee. What is
I think
that?
that's where you kick the back of the knee and it makes you go limp and fall over, right?
Okay.
Gotcha. He's talking about, I think, like in school, and then you get book checked.
Yeah,
that was a popular thing, like where the seniors would book check the freshmen. I got it when I was freshman.
We all.
It was like there was like the grand staircase, right? In the main corridor of our high school. The big thing was to fucking, as everybody's passing, it wasn't targeted because it's just like cattle shuffling, and it's just, hey, knocking whoever's passing you, and you knock them down that grand staircase. It's extra humiliating.
Well, it's that, and it's also like grabbing somebody's book bag when they have it on their shoulders, and they just fall down to the floor, dude. And they bring you down.
I never saw that.
Oh, that shit happened to me twice, dude. Yeah.
You like are one pathetic loser.
It's like the Stone Cold Stunner, dude. Yeah, but they just grab your book bag and pull you to the ground, dude. And you're not even, dude. You're so caught off guard, dude. It freaks you out.
The nut tap thing. Yeah, I know people played like that, but when that's nut tapping, dude. That's different. Like the nut tap, yeah, people would fucking do that jackass shit. This guy,
that was a full fist, dude.
Clenched
that was a punch,
fist,
dude.
and he fucking rammed his fist and turned my shit inside out. I had 2 belly buttons, bro.
It was brutal. It was brutal to watch.
It was bad. I was fucking on ice after that stuff, and the finger in the butt, dude. I can't abide by this. I can't endorse the finger in the butt thing. I think that's questionable at best. And this is even more than that, though. I still know what you're saying. This guy fucking Captain hooked me, dude. 2 fucking fingers, and he fucking went up and in. He tested my prostate. He checked it. He was trying to milk it. He almost got there.
Well, I mean, that runs in your family, prostate cancer, so he's doing you a favor.
It's colon cancer. But same diff. I mean, he's up the ass. He could check for that too. Check for polyps, dude.
Yeah.
He comes out, he fucking busted a polyp. Ugh.
I saved your life, Aaron.
You think after he like went his way and I went my way, he's like,
I don't want to think about that. Let's move on.
All right. Max says, someone asked me if I'd ever seen Star Wars, and I was like, oh yeah, why? And he flicked his cigarette at my face.
Oh, kind of like in
I just got a visual of that. I got so pissed. I threatened to whoop his ass in front of everyone.
Get the fuck out of my face. That was Dorian did that in Usual Suspects. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
He's smoking. He's like, get the fuck out of my face, dude. Yeah.
Someone asked me if I'd ever seen Star Wars, and I was like, oh yeah, why? He's flicked the fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, Mac. I was so heated. Shit got me right in the eye. Should have beat his ass. John. He's asking Racing Genius, what's your favorite Misfits song? Mine is Last Caress. Dude, I gotta say, the Misfits catalog, it's so brief and perfect. The classic era, it's so brief and perfect. There is no filler. Like, it's all so good, man. I like them all. They're all so fucking catchy, man. Halloween is super catchy. Obviously, Where Eagles Dare is a big one. Yeah, Last Caress, Green Hell, those are all fantastic. It's all just bangers, dude. And I did get to see him on one of the shows they did with Jerry Only and Glenn Danzig and Doyle, and I saw him a couple years ago. Hottest show I've ever been to in my fucking life, dude. Almost died. It was so hot, but dude, it was awesome. Awesome shit. Let's see. I want your skull. Yeah, it's a great song. Yeah, that might be my favorite Misfit song. I hope I don't get flagged for my brilliant fucking cover
Yeah.
of
I don't
Skulls.
know, dude.
138 Last Caress Green Hell. I like the Misfits. I like their Elvis singing punk. Yeah, he was the metal punk Elvis, dude. I like the first two Danzig solo records. You can't.
I like them too. Yeah.
The first two, awesome. After that, But a lot of people like the third one and the Dirty Black Summer and all that stuff. I just like the first two a lot. The Long Walk sucks. Todd, I know, wants to see it.
Yeah, I do want to see it. I hear people actually like it, so I'm curious. I know you don't, but I still want to see it.
Racing Genius says talking about Under Siege, by the way. Are you talking about like get to the point, or were you talking about
Well, we're getting to that in the members here pretty soon. So
he might have
a couple more minutes.
He might have been referring to something that he said, and he was.
And real quick, in the members only segment, I have something that I'm going to show everybody.
Oh,
so we were talking about this Halloween episode of me as a 9-year-old dressed up as Bub from Day of the Dead. And I have a photo, and I'm not going to show it right here, but hey, if you go to the members only, I will show it to you.
It's his dick.
Aaron's never seen this. I was dying to send this to Aaron. So I am looking forward to showing Aaron.
Sounds like it's your dick. I'm going to be very disappointed if it is.
It's not my dude. As a 9-year-old,
how do I know you didn't name it Bub?
That's a good point.
No, but anyway, yeah. So we're just kind of bullshitting and hanging out with you guys before we do that Under Siege commentary. Looking forward to it, man. It's a great Phantom Nut. That sounds like a band, dude. Robert, I'm going to watch The Long White tonight. I hope I lock it. I turned into fucking the Crocodile Hunter for a second there. I hope I lock it. Fucking Paul Hogan, dude. Dundee. Yeah, Maiden's amazing. I love the best Maiden album is Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's my personal favorite. I love it. Love it. I was listening to Brave New World on vinyl an hour before I started. I love Brave New World. Like all the old classic Maiden records. And then the 90s shit, of course. And then they came back strong when Bruce came back with Brave New World. And then after that, post 2000, that album, I haven't been able to really connect with anything in the last like 25 years. But you can't fuck with that entire 80s run almost. Not the entire 80s run. I think No Prayer for the Dying sucks dick.
And Power Slave's always been my favorite.
No Prayer for the Dying is their worst album. And that was the end of the 80s. And then I believe 90 was the last Bruce album for a while. That was Fear of the Dark. Fear of the Dark sucks. Besides the title track and maybe Be Quick or Be Dead's okay. But everything before that, it's like, whoo, get out of here, man. It's so good.
And Seventh Son is up there too, man. That's probably my top two.
And Brave New World. Yeah, I would always say Seventh Son and Power Slave, flip, you know, but there's no wrong answer, honestly. Let's see here. Poor Manson got blamed for that. The Columbine. Yeah, we're a little behind. Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, Wicker Man kicks ass, dude. I like both versions. Do you have a preference on which version? Because when the single came out, they had a separate single version. The one that was with the music video. The music video literally has like a Wicker Man burning and shit like that. And the radio version is different than what's on the album. The radio version, I believe it's like a little shorter, but the chorus is different. They add a background vocal. So on the album, you're hearing when he's saying your time will come, your time will come, your time will come. On the radio version, there's like a call and response to that. So when he's like, your time will come, I will be done. It's like his whole thing, and it's fucking awesome. And I actually like both versions. And I hate that you can't have a perfect version because it's like, well, I like the long version. I think it maybe has like a solo that's not on they cut a solo out. But anyway, that's all boring shit. Why am I talking about this? I always try to emulate what Zach would say. I want his personality. Woo!
Okay, a monkey. Zach.
Okay, it's a monkey's paw situation there, Zach.
You Zach.
You should come on. You'll be like, it's Pat the movie. You're that guy that's obsessed with Pat, dude. He's got the wig and the glasses. He's on the computer. He's wearing like the flannel button up, dude. It was the guy from Dumb and Dumber, remember?
Oh yeah,
Mr. Andre. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Mr. Andre, you were
yeah.
saying? Zach has a Chad personality. All right, Zach, you're not confused. You're not convincing me this isn't Zach. Are you
Yeah, I
Zach?
know.
Have you already taken the form of Zach?
Mm,
If you're not Zach, you probably are Zach, dude.
it's all right. We know it's you. It's okay.
Zach did a lot of Edo jokes, if you know what I'm saying, in the early years. It was so much fun. Yeah, like I said, dude, it was the wild days, and they just can't exist anymore unless we get so big and rich that we can have our own platform that can rival
Yeah.
Google. We got to be Elon Musk, and we got to buy Twitter. Basically, we need like the Twitter of video platforms.
If we can do everything behind a paywall, and yeah.
Did my lighting suddenly become warm out of nowhere?
Oh, you're fine.
It looks
You-
like it changed.
Really.
Yeah, it seemed like it changed. Oh well. All right. So Max says we need to do the next ICP album. Can't do it without you.
Yeah, that's
You know
all
what you know what I hate about the ICP album thing that I was doing with you guys? We never got my turn. The agreement was like, oh, I'll do the ICP albums, and next time we'll do like an album of my choice. And I was gonna force you guys to listen to like a Megadeth album, because that's funny, because that's like your ICP to me, your kryptonite. And I just found myself doing fucking 3 albums in a row of the Joker's card, and I'm like, when is my turn? But it'd be fun. I like doing the album. I want to do more music stuff some way, so I'm down with it. But you got to listen to some Megadeth one of these days.
Yeah.
I thought Riverman was Todd's last name. Todd
No.
Riverman. Todd
That's-
Riverman.
I like it. I like that last name.
Riverman. That's good.
It's not a Swedish last name like mine, but yes.
Dude, what's up, Mustafa Atlantis? Wow. What's going on with your Spider-Man toy? Looks like
That's cool, man.
Looks like he's laying in bed getting an old fashioned, dude.
Shooting webs. What's going on, Mustafa?
Let's see. Racing Genius to Robert. Well, in that case, thanks for not using the P word. We're trying to keep it clean in the chat. No, I do. By the way, yeah, I should have acknowledged that. He said Edo in quotes. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because then I can share it.
Yeah.
I'm not offended personally. I don't want to. We already got put in the doghouse for that. Let's just say that. Because when the changeover happened, and Mac, I don't know if I talked to Mac about this, but basically when Todd came back and all that stuff, we started getting punished for all these old videos in our archives from the old days when it was fine. And then we had to like clean house, and we got demonetized. We had to go through the fucking fire, dude. It just they don't fuck around. And Todd was being 100% serious, where it's like, you gotta bend or you don't exist at all.
Yeah.
And it sucks because this is where everybody is. That's not to say that we couldn't do exclusive stuff on like podcast networks. You could probably still get away. I don't know how strict iTunes is these days.
Hey, show us the money and we'll be there.
Let's see. I thought Zach was far. What does that mean? Far away. Where are you from, Lars? Far away. Is that right? The heavyweights, dude?
Yep.
I love you. Far away. John, Mac, what's your favorite ICP album? Mine is The Ringmaster. I'm gonna let you guys fucking talk amongst yourself.
You and John.
Mac is a huge fan of Bugs on Your Nuts, dude.
What's the one with Fred Durst? I like that one.
Oh, the Ernie Hudson's interview is one of the popular videos on the channel. I love that interview, but it's also embarrassing because he left me hanging, dude.
Oh yeah,
I went to go shake his hand. He didn't leave me hang. He just didn't see it.
Yeah.
We were talking all weekend, and I was talking to him before that. It was cool, but like on the video, I didn't realize I had to brief him. Hey, and when we start rolling, I'm going to shake your hand. He just didn't see it, dude. He's so much taller than me, and I just go, whoa, and I played it cool. But dude, that guy doesn't age, dude. I have a picture. I shared it in our Discord. Which, by the way, we have a free Discord, guys. You guys should join it.
It's free. Join it.
Fun.
We're on Spotify too, so join the Spotify.
We meme it up on Discord, and this week I went down memory lane. I was like clearing out my iCloud and going through all these photos, and I was like, because Todd had never seen my picture with George Romero.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to go find all the pictures I've taken with like people I've either interviewed or we've hung out with, whatever. So I started going back like fucking 11 years or 14, 15, as far as I could go, because I still have it. God bless the clouds, dude. That's pretty cool. The cloud's a pretty cool invention for that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just started posting stuff I was finding in the Discord, and there's a picture I posted with me and my mom and Ernie Hudson, and that one I really like. I really like that picture, and I know like in decades from now, maybe when like my mom's not around anymore, I'm gonna cherish that photo because it was a fun weekend when my mom joined.
Oh, that was so much fun, man. My
And
wife had a great time too with your mom, and yeah,
that was the weekend that the famous Savini stuff happens.
Yeah.
And it's funny to be there and like, oh, I got this. I mean, I know I have a video with them, but me and my mom with Ernie Hudson, and he was a nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's
It was just a great photo, man. And I put up a bunch of other photos. I put a photo up there with me and Rob Halford that I got a few years ago, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, Romero and stuff. But fun stuff. Mac is answering. Ringmaster is dope. His is either Riddlebox or Jekyll Bros. But he loves the great Malenko also, dude. He goes deep. Mac is a juggalo.
Or Jug-a-ho.
Can you guys please play the Street Fighter theme on guitar? I could. I also I always wanted to do something with Mac. I wanted to do like an E-band with Mac or whatever and do some stuff because him and Mac and Zach you guys put out this cover album, 1 or 2 back in the day, and where I'm pretty sure you guys were just like rapping over the tracks, and you guys would do like Forgot About Dre. They were fucking awesome. Like Zach as Dr. Dre, he had like the deep voice. He was doing Blow Me. He was doing the fucking Dr. Dre. And then, like you'd have Mac coming in. Mac was Eminem.
Oh, okay.
Forgot About Dre. And he's got, because Mac can get that higher level like Eminem does in the register. I love that shit so much, man. I wish that was still available for people to check out. But maybe Mac will do an E version of the Street Fighter theme with us. I love the Ken Masters theme, dude. Love it. I used to play the Ken Masters theme all the time. Let's see. Yep. Check it out, Satan. We've done all the way up to Ringmaster with Aaron. It's on YouTube somewhere. Unfortunately, dude. Got to do the great Malenko. And then the prophecy's fulfilled, right? Because that's like the 4 classics, right? So I basically just have one more. We'll see. I can't leave it unfinished. Dead Pit thinks they're better than anyone. Satan. Hey, you said it. You said it. I don't really know him.
No, I don't know him either.
I don't really know him on a personal level or any of that stuff, but I've got my opinions about their content, but oh, Todd's giving me the behind the scene let's end it message, guys. That's a little bit of a curtain pull. Like this is like the job of a producer, I guess. Let's end it.
Well, hey, come on. I am the producer, aren't I?
Well, we're both producers.
And you're not supposed to show the people.
I know. I had to show how the sausage is made. I do it too, like Todd. But the thing is, like nobody's ever like looking at it. But I guess we have to end it. Thanks, Dad. No, I'm gonna read everybody's comments first. Okay, I'll start winding down.
Okay,
I'm having a good time. I'm loose.
I am too, man. I'm just saying we got a whole hour and 45-minute movie to get to.
Oh yeah, I guess I kind of forgot, didn't I? John says, ever heard the EP, The Terror Wheel and the Tunnel of Love? He has, dude. Mac fucking goes to sleep on a pile of fucking ICP records, dude. Racing Genius says, especially their Daniel Harris arc at the present time. Oh, all that they become a drama channel.
Yeah.
I think that's really scraping.
Who cares?
It's scraping.
I don't give a shit about Dan. She's fine, whatever,
But I'm saying, like, I really, there's a line you can cross. I mean, there's one thing about like reporting news, and there's a line you can cross about getting exploitative with it, But anyway, let's see. LOL, Zach is a random listener. I mean, he used to be back in the day. Like Zach was one of the OG listeners in like 2011. He was one of those guys, dude. Like that was like Todd, one of these few people that was listening to all this. Because back then it was like literally like your friends, because it was just regular dudes talking about shit you were into that wasn't getting mainstream coverage.
You search for podcast for your favorite movies or movies you were interested in, and then you end up listening to that podcast. That's it.
I'm pretty sure, and the pool was very small. So, and I remember, like for example, our first episode ever, the main movie I believe was Singapore Sling.
Yeah.
And then we did like we did an episode on ticked off trannies with knives.
Did we do that?
Yes.
I don't remember that one.
But I mean, I'm saying like we got in it, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, Moon Tiara. I was there for the Mac and Zach era. I can't freaking talk. It was legendary. I listened to every episode while working. Yeah. Good shit, dude. I love those. I want to go and curate all the prank calls. I got to find all the episodes that they were on and stuff. And I would love to curate all the prank calls and put them in one video because those were so gold. Where we called the Stanley Hotel.
Mhm.
Awesome. Mac, do you remember when we were calling that Motel 6 in Alabama? That was my favorite, dude. And we kept calling that guy back, and he was just getting so fucking escalated and agitated. He was talking about like doing terrible things to our fucking sisters and wives. And he was, of course, like Indian or Pakistani or whatever. And this guy fucking didn't give no fucks. And that guy was hilarious to kind of fuck around with, man. Do you remember that? We had Zach call like what Zach would call, Mac would call whorehouses and brothels and shit, like the Bunny Ranch and stuff like that. And those were just good times, dude. Uh, I don't really know how much of that stuff you can get away with anymore, to be honest with you.
Probably
But
not much.
let's just say that would be fun to revisit if we could. Every now and again, you'd get a good sport that was cool, and they would like play along, and that was extra fun. But Racing Genius, I was there as well, and it was glorious. They went through a ton of requests. Grail titles pre-live streaming. Yeah, pre-live streaming, 100%. Yeah. And we had this habit of doing commentaries. We do like, we would do what's the fucking movies you love so much? Ghoulies. We would do Ghoulies 2, we do Ghoulies 3, but like we'd never do Ghoulies 1. We would like do all these like we do like Wishmaster 2, Wishmaster 3, and we'd never, I don't think a lot of times we'd never get to like the originals because we always try to avoid like the more popular ones. We did some obscure shit, man. Robert, the all knowing, it sucks that the majority of movies you guys reviews, I wouldn't watched it. I just stick for Zach's jokes and Aaron's butter voice. Well, I appreciate that. Well, so judging by your avatar, you're into like Star Wars. Are you into like the big blockbuster type films? Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I think it's a real desirable pocket to get into is when people can listen to you just because maybe they like your personalities or you just gel well with people. You don't necessarily have to be super knowledgeable about what they're even talking about. I definitely have those podcasts
I
where
do too,
I just like the
100%.
personalities.
Yeah.
And I listen to podcasts where I'm really not into what they kind of mainly talk about. And
It's kind of comfort food on some of these podcasts where
sometimes,
yeah.
but obviously you're gonna have people that are gonna gravitate toward like, you know what, I've never seen Under Siege. I'm gonna sit this one out type of thing. Fair
Mhm.
enough. The thing that contributes to that too is there's oversaturation. There's just so much stuff.
Mhm.
There's so much stuff to listen to and watch and just ingest and so little time. So we understand that. It's like the competition for everybody's time. It's just an impossible task. And so that's why we're grateful. Anybody that tunes in whenever, especially if you guys are regularly coming back. I mean, we are very, very much appreciative because I know time is valuable and you guys could be anywhere else. So thank you so much. I'm the same way, dude. And we'll have I know like longtime listeners that'll like be around for a long time. They'll drop off. Sometimes they come back and maybe they're listening in the background. Every now and again, they'll drop us a DM. I do that all the time. I have shows that I just drop off of. I still like them.
I do too. Yeah,
There's just
absolutely.
fucking no time, dude.
Yeah.
And maybe you get into like another show and it's like, well, that's the one show I have time to listen to a week or whatever. Yeah, I get it. Anyway, thank you guys for sticking around with us. Some of you guys, I mean, honestly, I didn't even think about that. There's some obvious ones in there, but like Moon Tiara, if you would have put a gun to my head, I wouldn't have been able to tell you've been around that long. And I'm glad you have.
Mhm.
Some people weren't messaging or commenting in live streams and they were kind of lingering. But yeah, I love it, man.
If you're lingering, yeah, I mean, show yourself. Just shout out.
Expose yourselves.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, God, I mean,
Oh, by the way, one thing I wanted to mention, Robert, is the whole it sucks that the majority of movies you guys reviewed, I wouldn't watch it. Dude, fucking back in the I'm right there with you, dude. That was like part of the fun. Is like, dude,
mhm.
Todd and Lush used to make me watch fucking exploitation films. Mac and the guys from Exploited Cinema would come on and we'd be watching Water Power. Like
I like to
I
watch I like to watch things I would never watch. I
Yeah,
like that
that's
though.
kind of the thing, dude. Like, but I was right there. You know how many fucking weeks I was dreading watching
I'm
some of
sure.
these movies? Like, I have to do this. That's kind of part of it, man. And movies are subjective. It
Mhm.
casts a wide net. And yeah, sometimes yeah, you discover new things you're into that maybe you wouldn't have given a chance prior. Which by the way, this is something I'll close with it in a second after I'm done reading the well, I'll say it now. We're gonna start wrapping up here in just a minute, but um Todd and I were talking today, and I was telling Todd, some of you guys are going to know this because you guys are saying you've been around for a while. But I told Todd I want to bring back a cinema enema. I used to do that with Zach all the time. I loved cinema enema. I want to
Mhm.
do it with Todd. I want to ask Alpha Romero if he'll come on and be a regular for that. And if you guys remember cinema enema, it was very much old school podcasting in nature, of course, video. But the concept was simple. It wasn't a commentary, it wasn't dicking around. It was we would take turns picking the movie, and let's say if it was my turn, I would pick a movie that I thought was really fucking worth the discussion. Uh, and I thought it was a movie that Zach or whoever would not normally give the time of day, and then I make them watch it, and then we do the podcast on it, and we really break it down. It's very focused, and those are so much fun. And I
Yeah.
told Todd, like,
Yeah.
I would love to bring that back and bring that back in like video form. I don't necessarily know if that would be in live stream form, just because uh, the way that show is, we're so in it talking about the films,
Mhm.
keeping up with talking with you guys. It kind of, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it
Sure.
turns into other shit. We start talking about me getting hit in the nuts at conventions and stuff like that. And but I'm not against it. I just want to figure it out. But I want to get like another chair in there. I want to see if Alpha will come on and do it. I would love to do it like monthly.
Yeah.
But even if it's like every 6 weeks, I don't know. But it would just be so much fun. And that was a great excuse and way for us to kind of explore other types of films.
Mhm.
You know, Zach chose to do Come and See, that Belarus war movie, that foreign war movie.
Mhm.
And you know, he some of these films that have been on my list maybe, but like it's hard to actually get them
There's just too
watched.
many. Yeah.
And he bumps it, and it forces you to bump it. And I watched
Mhm.
it, I loved it. You know, Zach would have never watched Perfect Blue, the anime. And I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck, you're watching it. Because that's the rule. You can't back out. Whatever I want you to watch, you know, and vice versa.
Sure.
And so that we want to bring it back. And I'm going to ask Alpha if he would maybe consider wanting to do it. Because Alpha got me thinking, because when we streamed with him a week or two ago, he was talking about watching, I think it was Boris Karloff's last film. And he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
talking all about it. I'm like, man, that's perfect cinema enema. Like
Mhm.
you discover this movie, or you love this movie that you think more people need to see, and you pick it, and Todd and I have to watch it and do our homework and really have a great discussion about it. And yeah, anyway, just thought I'd say that. But I would like getting that back into rotation because I thought it was a great show.
Absolutely. I'm all for that.
All right. And if you guys noticed, when Zach was doing that show, he was tame. He was kind of like off character. We took it very seriously. It was fun. And there was something about getting Mac on board, and we're doing silly fucking shit that just, you know, he had like personas, right? It's like a kayfabe. Let's see here. Mac is saying, appreciate you, Moon. We still doing shit, doing a mirror discography tier list at the moment. Did another Halloween Resurrection. Oh, and Dangertainment. Yeah, guys, go follow Came Gang's channel. They still do shit and pop up. I don't really know if you guys are on a strict schedule, Mac, but if you are, let people know when you guys go live. You know, let's see. Rob, the all knowing. I only sub if you I only sub if you show Zach's Billy. Is that a dick? If that's a dig, Zach tried to Zach was sending us pictures of his shit, dude. He would send his dick back in the crazy Zach days. He'd have like bloody stool and be like, he would,
Gross.
back when I still had Snapchat. Anybody do Snapchat anymore, but like, this a long time ago, he sent like a snap. You couldn't preview the picture. You would get sent a message and you click it and it would pop up like, oh, you fucking asshole. When I become a member, I'll rewatch all the commentaries as much as possible. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Well, I mean, you could watch You can watch them without being a member. I mean, they're all there. Just the members' commentaries, are locked behind that because we got to give the members something extra. But there's shit tons of stuff, guys.
Yeah.
There's like 1,200 videos on our channel. Uh, lots of stuff. Mac, John, of course, all the episodes in between. I remember I got into a fight with our older cousin because he tried to tell me Carnival of Carnage was a main Joker card. Oh, guys, you guys are going off about that shit. Yeah, Joker card. Getting a ICP overload. Okay, I promise you I'm really going to wrap it up. Okay, I'm going to speedball the last comments, get him in, and we're done. Time me. We're going to try and get through this shit in a minute. Yeah, Moon Tiara is asking about their channel. It's Kame Gang. You guys actually have 2 Kame Gangs. I would have Zach delete the other one because it's confusing. The other one comes up and it's got some of your old content, but it's not your like current one. I think the current one has like I don't know what the fucking symbol is. It's got symbols around the actual name. So just make sure you find the right one that has the most recent content on there. If it hasn't had content on it in a long time, that's the wrong Kame Gang. By the way, I saw Mac. I saw somebody else had a Kame Gang channel.
Really?
Some fucking buster, some pretender to the throne has a channel called Kame Gang. I don't know if it's the same type of content. Yeah, I thought like you guys should have fucking trademarked that term.
Kame Gang 2.
Yeah, Robert, the Mac and Zach Save the World channel. I think that's their old channel. They're on Kame Gang now. So yeah, I mean, Mac, honestly, you guys got to like make it less confusing for people. That's what I would say. Cause yeah, you guys still do your shit, man. It's good shit. They used to do post Revival House Mac and Zach on here at some point. Yeah, at a point we sort of touched dicks and joined forces and all that stuff. And yeah, back in the day. I'll see you guys Wednesday. Oh, later, Satan.
Take
Sorry,
care,
bro.
Satan.
We're wrapping up anyway. Robert, end the stream. Fuck off. We're trying to. See you next Wednesday, boys. Knowing that my second cousin's grandmother's birthday is next week, so they're celebrating the weekend. Later, dude. Have a great time. So, what's the change for? He had a feeder in a room, and there's like a change amount of 75. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're talking about the fucking the Motel 6 guy. I want to go back and listen to it and really get it. But yeah, it was ridiculous. We were just like ribbing this guy. It was hilarious. All right, we're done. Let's see. I'm just gonna skip. Robert, no, it's Kame Gang, CAME, as in the past tense of coming. I came, I saw, I conquered. Anyway, Kame Gang, yeah. Yeah, Entropy Station. Some low-life piece of shit is trying to steal Kame Gang. Look it up. There is another Kame Gang. I didn't really look at his content and what he talks about. It might be totally unrelated, but it can't be a coincidence. Kame Gang, like it's a little too close.
Knows?
Yeah, the Cam Gang. They do naughty things on camera. Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap up. We have to get under. Oh, I didn't even do my fucking review. You want me to do it real quick, or do it? You want me? I'll talk about it real quick. Can I have 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Todd's mad.
I'm not mad.
Are you mad, honey?
I'm not mad. No.
All right. So this is where we'll end it. We're going to be going over to the members only chat, and we're going to be talking about Under Siege. This is the new Arrow release. I watched this, and it looks the best it's ever looked, and it's probably ever going to look. The movie's great. Like I said, the transfer is incredible. As far as special features, I give them an A for effort. They have a commentary with the director. I believe the director and the writer. Didn't get a chance to watch that, but I really want to actually. There's a lot of current of the day political shit going on in this movie that I would like to get some light shit on. But other than that, there's interviews. They have an interview with the director that's new for this release. That's fun. He talks about like Seagal. He worked with him in Above the Law with Kelly LeBrock, and that was like a few movies before this. And he was talking about how in Above the Law he wasn't quite this level of like fucking megalomaniac, because he was saying he was on Above the Law, he wasn't quite so out of his mind in his head, because he was saying he's like all the rumors are true. He had quite.
When was Above the Law? When did that come out?
I don't know the exact year.
Okay,
probably early 90s, early 90s. He's probably.
I know he lost his mind What, Under Siege 2? I mean,
But
there's a
Above
lot
the
of
Law
2.
was like
Yeah.
literally one of his first movies. Like
Oh,
above the
okay.
so he was saying that
That was 88. Okay.
yeah, he was saying he's like he was just getting started out and he wasn't quite the Seagal that we all know. He's like, by the time I came back and they hired me to do Under Siege, he had wanted all this control, he had wanted all this stuff, and he was definitely very full of himself. He had a very big head, and it was the Seagal that we all grew to love. But he says they hired me for a reason, the studio, because they thought since I had worked with him in his humble days, I would be the perfect guy to wrangle him in, and he would maybe respect me because he's one. I think he became one of these guys that was he couldn't take direction. You know,
Yeah,
he had to run the show.
sure.
So there's an interview with him. There's an interview with the Baywatch babe, Erica, whatever her fucking face is.
Yeah.
And she I hadn't seen her in years, man. You know, she doesn't look bad. I'm like, okay, she's aged gracefully.
Okay.
She's got like full tattoo sleeves on her arms.
Yeah. I know
Yeah,
that.
it's like wow. But you know, she was kind of talking about her history with it. She didn't say anything bad about Seagal. I just want the dirt on Seagal, dude. That's what I want. They had an interview.
yeah.
They had an interview with Damien Chapa, blood in, blood out himself, and that whole interview. It was more about Damien Chapa. Like I've heard his story a million times. You know, I grew up in Ohio and I moved to the Bronx. My mom was Mexican, my dad was white, and he talks with like a Cholo accent, like he's you know, blonde hair, blue eyed Latino. And you know, he talked about this was his first movie. Really, he said Blood In, Blood Out was his first movie, but you know that was a bit of it had a smaller budget. It's become a cult classic. He's like, but this is my first big studio film, and he was just kind of like talking about his experience entering the big leagues with this one. And they had another interview with the special effects supervisor. But like I said, at least there's new special features on it because I want these new releases to have some effort, dude. I really like it, and I would like more than one comment. I miss the days when a DVD would have more than one commentary, different people.
Absolutely.
But A for effort. I think the release itself, the movie's really good. I think it looks fantastic, so we get an A+ there. Special features are solid. It's not amazing. It's not going to blow your fucking mind. It's like 4 or 5 interviews. They're about 10 to 15 minutes long each. You know, and then a commentary. There's no featurette, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, I would say it's a solid release, dude. And I like it, dude. This might have been his last good movie. Todd says I gotta watch Under Siege 2. I never watched it.
Under Siege 2 is even better.
I like I was Executive Decision.
Yeah, I like that too. But
and he, you know, he's like in it for like a little bit. But yeah, so we'll be doing Under Siege 2 here soon. We'll see. But yeah, check it out, guys. All right, guys. So we have to book it. We're gonna go ahead and head over into the members only chat to do the Under Siege commentary. If you're a member, you know what to do. If you want to join it, hit the join button after subscribing. It'll show up if you're subscribed, and you can join us. And it'll be there live. We'll hang out, talk to you, and it'll also be up there after if you can't make the stream. So you guys can always join after the fact and check out all the archived member only commentary. I have to go and I have to relieve my bowels, and then. We'll be over there in like what, 5 minutes?
Yeah. I'll jump over there. I gotta do the same.
All right. Later, guys. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Big thanks to the Revival House family. Your loyalty fuels our obsession with horror and lets us uncover the darkest, most twisted gems just for you. If you're not a member yet, consider joining the cult today. You'll get early access to videos, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes scares you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, this is Revival House, your home for horror, and remember, we'll leave the house lights off for you.